Ackee and Saltfish is more than just a dish. It's a vibrant piece of Jamaican culture that brings together flavors, history, and a bit of home. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to prepare this delightful meal, step by step, and I promise you'll feel like a pro in no time. Plus, I'll sprinkle in some interesting facts along the way and share a kitchen hack to save you time. So, let's dive in. First things first, let's gather our ingredients. You'll need 1 can of ackee, which you can find in most grocery stores or Caribbean markets. If you're lucky enough to have fresh ackee, that's even better. Next, grab about half a pound of salted codfish, which you'll want to soak overnight to remove some of that saltiness. You'll also need a medium onion, a couple of cloves of garlic, a bell pepper, some scallions, and a tomato. Don't forget the spices, black pepper, thyme, and a little bit of hot pepper if you like it spicy. Now, let's talk about the dumplings. You can choose to fry or boil them, depending on your preference. For the dumplings, you'll need about 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a pinch of salt, and enough water to form a dough. If you want to add a twist, you can mix in some cornmeal for a different texture and flavor. All right, let's get cooking. Start by preparing the saltfish. After soaking it overnight, drain the fish and place it in a pot of fresh water. Bring it to a boil and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. This will help to further reduce the saltiness. Once it's done, drain it again and let it cool. Once it's cool enough to handle, flake the fish into bite-sized pieces, making sure to remove any bones. While the fish is boiling, you can start on the ackee. If you're using canned ackee, be gentle when draining it. You don't want to mash it. If you're using fresh ackee, you'll need to boil it until tender, but be careful not to overcook it, as it can become mushy. Once you've got your ackee ready, set it aside. Now, let's move on to the sautéing process. In a large skillet, heat some oil over medium heat. Add your chopped onions, garlic, and bell pepper. Sauté them until they're soft and fragrant. This is where the magic begins. The aroma will fill your kitchen, and you'll feel like you're in a Jamaican restaurant already. Once the onions are translucent, add in the flaked saltfish and stir it all together. Let it cook for a few minutes to allow the flavors to meld. Then, add your tomatoes and scallions, followed by the thyme and black pepper. If you're feeling adventurous, toss in a small piece of hot pepper for that extra kick. Now, gently fold in the ackee. Remember to be gentle. You want to keep those lovely pieces intact. As everything comes together in the skillet, it's time to prepare the dumplings. If you're boiling them, simply mix your flour, salt, and enough water to form a soft dough. Roll the dough into small balls and flatten them slightly. Bring a pot of salted water to a boil and drop in your dumplings. They'll be ready when the dough float to the top, which usually takes about 5-7 minutes. If you're frying the dumplings, take the same dough and shape it into balls, but this time, heat oil in a separate pan. Fry the dumplings until they're golden brown on all sides. Trust me, the crispy texture is worth the extra effort. Here's a kitchen hack to save you time. While the saltfish is boiling, you can chop your vegetables and prepare the dumpling dough. Multitasking is key in the kitchen, and remember, the more you practice, the smoother the process becomes. Now, let's talk about the history of ackee and saltfish. This dish has roots in the 18th century when it was brought to Jamaica from West Africa. Ackee itself is native to West Africa and was introduced to Jamaica in the 1700s. It's interesting to note that ackee is actually a fruit, and it's the only fruit that is considered toxic when unripe. So, always make sure to use ripe ackee, whether fresh or canned. Once everything is cooked, plate your ackee and saltfish alongside the dumplings. You can garnish with a few extra scallions or a slice of lime for a pop of color. The vibrant yellow of the ackee against the golden dumplings is a feast for the eyes, and the flavors are simply divine. If you're looking to try ackee and saltfish at a restaurant, some of the best spots are located in Jamaica, of course, but you can also find fantastic versions in Caribbean restaurants around the world. Places like Gloria's in Brooklyn, New York, or the Real Jamaican Jerk in Toronto are known for their authentic takes on this classic dish. Thank you for joining me on this culinary journey today. I hope you feel inspired to try making ackee and saltfish with dumplings at home. It's a dish that not only fills your belly, but also warms your heart. If you enjoyed this recipe and want to explore more delicious dishes from around the world, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for my next video. See you next time, and happy cooking!